Now you see how come I wanted to come to Dayton, Ohio to do this story, don't you? I knew y'all would do that. Y'all are a good bunch. You know, the last time was up here, and I appreciate Larry and Lloyd Orrell for having us back. The last time we were up here, I was on my way to the hospital. And I was having it rough. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to finish that program, I'll tell you that much. I was really having it bad. But I want to tell you that my operation was 100% successful. You can't even hardly see the scar. As a matter of fact, that doctor told me it's one of the most beautiful operations he ever saw. The only thing wrong was he operated on me for the wrong thing. And that's a fact with my hand up. After I left here the last time, I stayed in that hospital 3 months while they was hunting it. I had this pain up in my back behind my chest, and I never been sick a day in my life. So I was bumfuzzled by the whole thing. I didn't know what was happening to me. I didn't even have a doctor to go. I had to go to my wife's doctor. I didn't even have a doctor to go to. And he sent me right away to a heart doctor. As a matter of fact, I had a mess of heart doctors before it was over. For 3 months I had heart doctors. And I bet you I took 50 of them EGK tests, where that little needle does what it does. And every one of them showed my heart to be letter perfect. As a matter of fact, one of them doctors told me, he said, "Boy, you've got the heart of a man half your age." Can you imagine having a 14-year-old heart? This is a fact. There was no test made for the heart that they didn't give me and couldn't find nothing but a strong heart. One of them doctors said, "Boy, I don't know what's wrong with you, but whenever you die, they're going to have to beat your heart to death with a stick." This is a fact. This is a fact what I'm telling you with my hand up. I laid in the hospital. Then finally, they sent me to a chest doctor, and he found a little hole in my esophagus. I didn't have no idea I had a hole in my esophagus. I didn't even have no idea I had esophagus. Well, whenever they operated on my esophagus, then they found out what was wrong with me. I had a clogged artery in my back that goes into my heart. And they didn't have no idea. And buddy, when they operated on me, I really had a clogged artery. They rushed me and my insurance policy right back to that hospital. I got insurance. It covers Hong Kong flu, provided you caught it in Hong Kong from a Siamese cat. But I went back to that hospital, and this is a fact what I'm telling you. I stayed in coronary care 10 days. Can you imagine staying in coronary care for 10 days? For any of you folks that ain't never been sick, that's the same as insensitive care. Well, that ain't funny. I almost had a cataract of wrist while I was in there. They had machines. They had machines running in me. They had blood running. They had needles stuck in me all over. It was something terrible. And my wife could only come in there 2 minutes a day. That's how clogged my artery was. And this is a fact. I had a nurse that sit right there with me 24 hours a day. Except every now and then when she had to run out for a little bit. But That's how bad off I was. And let me tell you something, it's a fact with my hand up. While I was in coronary care, that nurse come in there one day and she said, Brother Wendy, she said, your brother is here. She said, you haven't seen him for many years. She said, he's flown from a far distant place. And we feel like we've almost got to let him come in for just 2 minutes. She said, do you think it'll bother you any? I said, well, I don't know. I said, whenever I come in here, I didn't have no brother. And then in walked J.D. Sumner. He just sat down there beside the bed, squalled 2 minutes, and left.